W4G Studios.
What's good?
Man, blessed. Blessed by the best.
Dominic Salazar. So, how did you come up with the name DP.X?
Simple, man. It was just more of my initials. Try to be creative with it. Was nothing to it, just my name. So I just figured, let me see. First it was like DP. You know, I wrote it with a period, then an S. Then I was like, man, I'm gonna spell it out. Let me just spell out that dot. You know what I'm saying? Dot. You know what I'm saying? Just spell it out D-O-T.
So everybody else that tries to use your name are just copycats because they really have no reason for using the name.
Yeah, you know, I try to make it that's really customized to just myself, and yeah. And I always look up. There's some things that are close dots, but I mean, who's gonna really say dot? You know what I'm saying? No one wants a dot. Like, what's a dot? You know what I'm saying? But you know, I just use it as more of like my period. You know what I'm saying? So yes, try to make it unique.
What was it? 2008, 2009. Well, first of all, when did you transition from Vegas? You started out in Texas, went to Vegas, and came back to Texas. What were those years? What was the time frame there?
Born in Brenham, you know, with Bluebell ice cream, and then parents split up when I was about 2 to 3 years old. Moved to Vegas where my grandparents were at already. You know, God rest their soul. You know what I'm saying? The Dewan family. Went out there about 3 to 4 years old and was raised pretty much on you know, downtown Vegas, Fremont Street, before they had the, you know, the enclosed Fremont Street experience. Before all that, Northtown. There between up until 20, you know, 23 years old. Moved out here. Been out here ever since 2007. Once I got saved in 2006, came out here, wanted to do the Lord's work. Just invested into myself, you know, bought the cheapest computer I could buy.
Dell computer.
A Dell computer from Goodwill. Vegas Video 5.0, which I was already using in Vegas. And then, you know, just did things like that. So I moved out here in 2007. Been out here since. Doing the Lord's work. Ever since came out here, I made a commitment to wanting to serve the Lord through music and share my testimony with others, but at the same time bring encouragement and bring wisdom to everyone who has ears to hear and eyes to see. So from 86 to 2007, I was in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And then from 2007, I'm back where it started.
So when you came to Texas, when you was in Vegas, you was known as Shot the World?
You know, the group we was with, you know, we just kind of, you know, started doing our own thing, which is understandable, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I just kept it pushing, you know what I mean? And that's where, you know, kind of I feel like I took it to another level in a sense of just giving effort to at least put out the message and make an effort to do so.
Mm-hmm. So have you always done Christian hip hop, or have you?
Nah, first time was here in Texas.
Okay.
When I set up at the Lakeline Apartments, man, and I got my setup, and I didn't even have no speakers or nothing, but I had just headphones, and man, first microphone was the first microphone here or in general, like back in the day, or you talking about when I first started doing Christian hip hop?
Both.
In Vegas was a stage mic, so we used a basic stage mic, and the mic stand was putting it through a long cylinder tube and pulling the cord through, so the mic just stuck in there, and we put it on top of a freaking shelf, and it just sat there. We just, you know, that was our mic stand. And then I eventually got a mic stand and got an AT-2020. That was my first actually good mic.
AT-2020.
AT-20. Oh man, I would say maybe under 100, a little over 100. Was it?
60, 200?
Yeah, it was cheap. It sounded good though.
Yeah, you put out some hits. The
So,
transition from the stage mic to that mic made a big difference.
yeah, what also made a difference was putting in the time for mixing and trying to get everything sounding right. Uh, that was that was the real challenge, to be able to edit my vocals or have them to where they're not peaking and things like that. Just learning that stuff, I think that was the most challenging part. But I'm so glad that I'm continuing to evolve and learn and get better at it, and continue to make some hits, man.
How did Workers for God first get started? Because if you were Polo Shock the World, if you were Shock the World, how did you? Where did Workers for God come from?
Workers for God came. I was with um, another Christian rap group, Touch of the King.
Mm-hmm.
We was with them, and we was talking about adding people to Touch of the King, and then they end up not being able, well,
So many people.
not being able to get in with Touch of the King. So I said, man, you know what? Let's we're all workers for God, so let's just continue to do some music together, and let's not let anything stop us. So we joined with you know SOJC, Son of Jesus Christ, Carrie. You know what I'm saying, and then Will Be. Um, we just kind of formed Workers for God, and you kind of mix Andre, Lig in there, and mix Brandon
DeAndre,
and DeAndre. You got Paul Matsudo, Fred. So
even Lucy was on the track.
everybody, man, and
The dog,
that's
Kai.
what I'm saying. So, we were just at that time just people who wanted to do music for the Lord, and that's what we did, and I'm glad we are still doing it to this day.
Um, so started doing music, and at that time there was a group forming and making an impact at the same time you all were rocking stages, the same stages that you all rocked.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
yeah. Kingdom Music. Shout out to Kingdom Music and Bryann Trejo. Uh, Shout out to Five. Pastor Smith. Who hosted the event. Yeah, it was event 2016. And Kingdom Music was there. Five was there. And I remember getting a call from Pastor Smith, and at the time, I was still, doing music solo. I wasn't with Touch of the King no more. Workers for God was still doing our thing, and got a call from Pastor Smith. Said, he has a concert coming up, featuring, Five and Kingdom Music. And I knew of them already. I've already done a couple shows with Five. So when I heard about Bryann Trejo, it was a great opportunity. I said, of course, I would love to do it. And he said that they're gonna have a meeting. Uh, come by and have lunch. So I went to the Pastor Smith house, met them up. Great people. Um, was just excited to do a show with people out there are repping Christ the way they are. And the thing they did say was I was gonna open up. So I know opening up, that's it's kind of a challenge of a thing to do, especially when it's a sold out crowd. Nobody knows you, but it's not the greatest video, but video serves well. That I think Workers for God, we did our thing that day.
So Kingdom Music, they are Five and Kingdom Music are doing big things in the community now. And
Yeah.
what was the reason that Workers for God kind of after the impact that Workers for God was making,
Yeah.
what slowed it down?
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? That's one of those things where you go through life. Um, you got things in your life that that are inside that you got to deal with, and unfortunately, sometimes when you do that, you got to take a step back from things. Fortunately, I may take it. I might have took a step back, but brother Kerry, SOJC, he kept it pushing, kept it, going for what Workers for God is about, what we do, and you know, for that during them times, it was just a time where I had to take a step back. I had to get my priorities straight, um, get things right within myself, and make sure that moving forward that I have the right mindset and the right servanthood mentality moving forward, so that God's blessings wouldn't be compromised, and that I would be able to receive God's blessings without knowing I'm being transparent, God, about who I am and what I do. I'm not hiding things from my brothers. I'm not doing that stuff that I shouldn't be doing, sinning. It's really trying to be the best person. So I just had to take a step back, and I'm so glad I did, because I learned so much. And moving forward, it's like it's gonna be full steam ahead.
And so the quality back then, you said you was recording on Vegas and using what what equipment did you have back
Oh
then?
man, just a good, like I said, a regular desktop, good, from go to Goodwill and see a Dell computer. One of those with a regular, a Steinberg interface, MR22, and then like I said,
M Audio.
and yeah, the M audio, and then with the microphone, like I said, the AT 2020, and the Sony Vegas Video and FL Studio to make the beats, and then I would render it down, go to Vegas Video, put the instrument on there, boom, open up the channels, set arm on recording, boom, we gone, man. And that's how simple it was. Like it was nothing for us to just do that. You know what I mean? Get in the lab and just drop. I mean, Workers for God got a lot of songs, man, and you know, regardless of the quality, man, you could tell by the energy that we bring, and the meaning of the words, and boy, we was excited to get out there and do things for the Lord and try to bring people to Christ, and that's what we want to do now even more, because God has blessed us even more, to where you know we got to take advantage of it, because time is short here on earth, and hey, man, this is what it's about right here, because ain't nothing else really to live for. If you ain't living for Christ, then man, you in a lonely spot in this world.
Especially with all that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, so it's imperative that we have a reason. We have a reason to do what we do, and every day we wake up, we could turn on our laptop and put our headphones on, and just be truly thankful for what God has done, and just rep for the Lord through this music, and encourage others, and make good music, and share it with the world, man. That's what it's about.
And so you talked about dropping a lot of music. How many songs would you say that you released over your course of history,
Uh,
or even recorded?
yeah, man. Wow, that's a great question. Man, I would probably have to say over 50 easily, between 50 and 100 total.
Released.
I would say, well, when I say release, they're not on the internet, but there were songs that when I finished them in my laptop, it was a final copy. Whether it was given away to somebody on the internet, like recently, or I gave away a lot of CDs. So, but release songs like that, to me, that's like a release song. It's out there somewhere. I would say definitely over 50 songs, easily over 50. And that's with Christian hip hop, and doing it before worldly. When I was doing Hit a Snitch, and all them songs. So yeah, like, cause even that song was getting sold on the street, man, and somebody got that mug. But yeah, I love doing music. I'm not the type to be all about me, you know, flashy or, you know, I'm all about the Christ, man. Like seriously, like I could care less about me getting any notarized or anything like that. Like I just want to do this music, drop it, that's it, you know, and do these videos. You know, if I'm gonna do a show, cool, but like I don't care. Y'all can keep the awards. You know, I don't care about none of that because it's really just about getting the message of Christ out on the highest quality that we're able to put out, and you know, hoping that people can hear it and come to Christ and be like, man, I want to know more about this Lord because he changed his brother. He used to be like this. You know, look at him now. You know what I'm saying? He's helping people. That's what, you know, it's about, is encouraging another iron sharpen iron mentality.
So what are the future plans for Workers for God? Where are y'all headed now? What's going on?
Man, I'm going to tell y'all what, man. Workers for God got things planned up. Not only on my end, but I know I can speak for my brother Kerry. You know, we let's just say that things are lined up. Video is going to be coming soon. Content's going to be coming out. It's just going to be work, man, because at the end of the day, I kind of want to get to back what we was doing before Workers for God, you know, go out there serving the community. Like I want to get back to doing that because I believe that's how we can give back to Christ, is by giving our time to go out there and pray with people and just share the good news. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that God opens the door for us, and you know, He sees what we're trying to do for the Lord and sees what we're trying to do for His kingdom, and you know, open up opportunities that are steps above where we was at with Workers for God in 2010 to 2016. Like that was a 6-year period where, you know, we was doing the work, man, and we was out there, Salvation's Army, you know, Elgin, San Marcos, you know, San Antonio, Austin, you know, Montopolis, you know, area. You know, we're everywhere, man, just doing what we can for the Lord, and that's what I'm hoping that we can continue to do moving forward, especially with the videos going to be coming out and the new hot tracks. 'Cause, man, there's some hot tracks coming, so can't wait. How long have you know, always? When did you know that you wanted to rap?
Good question. I started rapping when I was, I want to say a teenager, like around high school or junior high, somewhere around that area. And me and my homeboys used to always rap on the boombox. You know, the boombox, the cassette deck, built-in microphone, and we have a big old school stereo in the back. We just go to like Music Mania, the music store, and buy instrumentals and put in the instrumental in the CD player and play it on his brother's big stereo, and then we would rap, record, get a blank tape and rap and record into the jam box. So that was kind of like when we first got started. Back then, I knew nothing about Christian hip hop, but I think that's where the roots of me rapping kind of came. Also, I was raised up on Houston, Texas music. So we used to always listen to Houston, Texas Screwed Up Click music, especially in his brother's Cadillac. He just had a real nice sound system, and I would always listen to the vocal quality and everything, and that's what I like. People listen to things differently. When I listen to a song, I'm dissecting it. How did they get their vocals like that? How did the beat go like this? How did, like, I hear things very different, and so instead of me just listening, I was always dissecting the song. It was just how it naturally was. So kind of back then, even back in the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s, I can remember me and my mom listening to the radio, and we were just always in the music. So music was something that I was just kind of raised up on, which most people are. And, you know, I just kind of, you know, as I got older, I saw that I was younger with my family. Music was a way to express emotion, to express feelings. I could see my uncle. I remember my uncles drunk, going through relationship hardships and crying on the table. You know, and music was always something that, you know, either changed or fit the mood. I can remember almost every weekend, everybody coming to me and my mom's house to play dominoes. We had the loud stereo system. We had the barbecues. We had the, you know what I'm saying, the money, Colony Park, Texas. Like, well, Austin, Texas, but it's Colony Park. And that's just where it was a spot. Everybody came. And that's kind of like where I was raised up. And so that's kind of like where the music started for me, as far as, you know, that. And then Christian hip hop, the way that I first wanted to do Christian hip hop was when I met Dominic Salazar. Well, I heard of Double Blessings Kendrick Twins, 88.1. I was just scrolling through some radio stations and ended up picking up 88.1. I could barely pick it up, but I picked it up and they were playing very good music that I had never heard. And I was like, man, wow. And that was just what I needed, you know, and it was Christian hip hop. And that is when I called up the general manager and connected with him and finding out about Double Blessing Kendrick Twins, and as well as this guy named Shock the World, DP.S, which is, he had this song called Are You Confused? And it just, I don't know, it just touched me, you know what I'm saying, in a real way. Like, you know, it's a lot of people that make music, but not a lot of people make music with a foundation to it, you know what I'm saying? Something that can actually lead you in the direction you're trying to go, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it started for me.
So when that happened, you called up there and you talked to Sherlin. What exactly was his? Did he say, like, how did he direct you in order to meet DP.S?
So I told Sherlin that I wanted to. He was telling people to call in, and I called in and said that I want to meet up with him and volunteer. He's like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. So we ended up meeting sometime later. It wasn't that same day, but sometime later we ended up meeting, and he took me to, I think it was Jim's restaurant across the street from the radio station, and we were sitting there he bought me my food, and we were sitting there talking, and he knew I wanted to do Christian hip hop, and I was actually going to go volunteer that day and hang out with him. But when I asked him who sings that song, that is when he told me, that is the guy that you need to connect with. And he instantly called up Dominic Salazar, DP.S, on the phone. And I mean, it was a connection right off the back. He was like, you know, I'm happy to meet you whenever, you know what I'm saying? Good to talk to you. Nice meeting you. And, you know, I actually got studio equipment at the house. Anytime you want to come over, feel free to come by. You just open doors, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just a real brother. And ever since then, we just started recording music back to back to back. I mean, like, probably every 3 weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks, we was releasing another song. And, yeah.
So what was your first concert you ever did?
First concert?
What you felt like?
First concert? I don't remember, but I do remember a concert. I don't know if it was the one at ACC or if it was the one where we was at Givens Park. Spread the Word, and we had this song called Spread the Word, You Say It Was Ministry, because that was the ministry that I was in. And yeah, I was concert stage is not really like that's not my home. That's Dominic Salazar is a beast. Like you know what I'm saying? He's a lion when it comes to rocking the stage. The studio is my home. So my first concert, like I say, we did Spread the Word, You Say It Was Ministry, a song I had made for that ministry. And man, I was very bashful, very shy. And the girl that I was in a relationship with, her sister was there, which was a prophetess. She was a prophetess. And just knowing that she was there and she didn't really fully accept the Christian hip hop music, it just kind of felt awkward. So I couldn't really be myself. All I could think about was what she would say or what she was thinking about our music.
So when you go back and look at where you came from and how you started out, wanting to get into it, and now you are doing it. Like when you look back at from where you started and where you're at now, like what would you say that kept you going, keeping you pushing during the hard times when it was probably been easy to just give up?
That's one thing about me. I always use my music as a stress relief. I'm big on reading my Bible. So like when times get hard and things get tough, I read my Bible. And once you get so full of the word, it wants to come out. And so that's my outlet. I turn on